Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of today's in Crypto Show. Vitaly Dubin is here. A lot has been happening in crypto and in the world. We'll discuss today how the new executive order of the President of the United States, Joe Biden, is affecting the crypto industry and crypto regulation. We'll talk about the embargo on oil coming from United States and as well as Europe that is heating up for total and complete embargo on Russian oil. We'll talk about the gold prices and commodities that are going up and skyrocketing right now. We'll talk about, of course, the price of Bitcoin, where it is going. We'll talk about the Terra Luna that is skyrocketing and Avalanche. A lot of development in there in the layer one solution in the DeFi space. So we have a lot to talk about. Let's get started, guys. The crypto markets today are facing some rejections. You can see minus 5.3% versus yesterday, that was a green day. What's important here, we have the President Biden signed long-awaited crypto executive order to establish a strategy to regulate the cryptocurrency industry. Overall, in a nutshell, this is a good thing for the crypto space because it is going to set in force different regulation that will provide so much more clarity to all of the users of the crypto space. This executive order is the first whole of government approach to regulating the crypto industry, and it aims to target a plethora of issues within the crypto space, including consumer protection, illicit finance, financial inclusions, and responsible development. Now, what you need to understand about this? This executive order is federal government sees cryptocurrencies as a legitimate, serious, and important part of the economy and society. And I think it's a good signal to serious people been holding back from getting involved. And here's what Cameron Winklevoss has to say. The executive orders on crypto is watershed moment, paves the way for thoughtful national crypto regulation that will allow builders to build onshore and ensure that the US remains a leader in crypto, creating greater independence, choice, and opportunity for all. So overall, it's a good thing. We're seeing a full embargo on oil coming up from US, banning Russian oil imports. And this, of course, came 2 days ago on March 8th. And it's a big deal and cutting Russia from those revenues coming from gas and oil. And now we're seeing this discussion going more and more heated about the full embargo on oil and gas import from Russia in all Europe, right? And this is a big deal because by buying oil and gas from Russia, they're essentially funding the government. And here's how the math works out. One T-72 tank in Russia will cost about 1.5 million euros. So by buying this oil, this makes about 400 new tanks and 200 new T-80 tanks a day financed with European Union from its gas and oil purchases from Vladimir Putin every day. That's more than the entire fleet of tanks that Ukraine has destroyed in the last 2 weeks. So we cannot allow this to happen. And yes, Europe is set to pay more for everything, right? Inflation and gas and oil, all of this energy. But if they do not do it, they're going to continue funding the entire Russian military budget, which is 62 billion euros in 2020, and they're essentially getting their entire military budget. So that's important. They do it as soon as possible. Now, the not so friendly drafting bill from the Senator Elizabeth Warren is trying to track transactions to private crypto wallets, and she's essentially saying the bill will help make sure Russia cannot use cryptocurrency to evade sanctions. But on that, there is a lot of argument of how Russia can essentially bypass the severe sanctions that US and Europe has been putting on Russia by using crypto markets. Well, on that, there is it's not really as simple for Russia to use crypto. Here's what Jake Chershinsky has to say about it. Crypto markets are too small, costly, and transparent to be useful for the Russian economy. Crypto markets are thin to start with, and ruble trading pairs are rare. With Russia cut off from the world's crypto industry, they cannot source nearly enough liquidity to matter. Right? Russia also cannot hide its tracks with crypto, setting aside valid privacy concerns, the transparency of public ledgers, plus the analytics capabilities of US forensics firms. Crypto is useless for sanctions evasion. So you can read the entire argument for how Russia has not been planning and has not been using and is probably not going to use crypto as a way to evade the sanctions. So yeah, what's important to realize is the war is going on full speed. We're having a belling cat saying Russia will try to freeze the war in another week, about 7 to 10 days, because they're just running out of their personnel and their army. They're stalling. There's still a lot of bombing going on and a full war that is going on. It's terrible, the situation that is happening there. Yesterday they've been shelling maternity hospitals. Women that has been pregnant in the port city of Mariupol, and according to the president of Ukraine, is the final proof of genocide from the Russians. And they're calling a no-fly zone over Ukraine, and they're trying to provide green corridors for the people that are held hostage in those events, creating a huge humanitarian catastrophe in Ukraine. But yeah, Ukraine is defending. Russian forces lose combat capacity and engage reserves. So without going in too deep into the news of Ukraine and Russia, I've been reading too much of that, and it's not that good, right? And there's so many Ukrainians are flooding out of Ukraine, and also Russians are trying to move out of Russia because it's becoming a catastrophe there on an economic front. Let's talk about some good news in the crypto space. We have crypto-friendly South Korean president Yoon Suk Yeol that has been elected, and that's a good thing for crypto because more users, more crypto-friendly exchanges coming out of the South Korea. We have Dubai that is finally creating an agency for virtual assets regulation. Again, regulation is a good thing. And a lot of crypto is flowing into Dubai. So that's one step forward overall in the development of the crypto space. Crypto is helping Ukraine, the Russians' invasions, and overall, that's been over $100 million in cryptocurrency donations. So thank you everyone who has been taking part of the donations to the Ukrainian citizens. And also Bored Ape Yacht Club, the NFT collection, is jumping in with its donation of over $1 million in Ethereum to support the important humanitarian help that is very, very much needed in Ukraine right now. Let's talk about Luna Terra. Has been on a tear in the last couple of days, surging 20%. It's rising. DeFi, if you take a look at it's the second largest staking protocol right now in the entire crypto space, coming up after Ethereum. And you can see that Ethereum is still number one, but Terra Luna plus 6.26% in the last 1 day. More people are using Terra Luna to stake $25 billion TVL. It's so much higher than Binance Smart Chain, more than 2 times. And the market cap to TVL is still fairly low, 1.35, which gives it a tremendous opportunity. Also, Phantom is very low, this market cap to TVL. So there might be a very good opportunity right there. And Avalanche has been growing as well. You can see Yeah, so the staking on Terra Luna, the UST with the Anchor protocol, provides a safe and secure way for you to earn some passive dividends on your crypto. All you need to do is use the Anchor protocol and stake UST, which is the stable coin of Terra Luna, right? And essentially get 20% APY on your deposit of Terra Luna, which 19.5%, something like that. And they have already staking over $15 billion right there. We see the Ethereum fees going lower. Right now they're at a 6-month low, which is a good thing overall for the Ethereum ecosystem. And the reason for that, we're seeing fees right now still high, about $15. And partially because layer 1 other solutions taken from Ethereum market share, namely the Avalanche and the Terra Luna, right? They're biting from the Ethereum market share. And also the reduction in the hype around NFTs. We're seeing some slowdown in the hype of NFTs, and so that's why we're seeing some reduction right there. And also layer 2 scaling solution on Ethereum is contributing to offloading the network from Ethereum. Now, Avalanche Foundation is spending $290 million to promote subnet development. It's a new thing for Avalanche that is kind of similar to Polkadot and Parachains. It's a different subnet that will facilitate even higher growth in Avalanche, and that's what they've been saying. Avalanche Foundations launches Multiverse. And up to $290 million incentive program to accelerate growth of new Internet of Subnets. So that's a very, very positive thing in the Avalanche that enable blockchain-enabled gaming, DeFi, NFTs. A lot of use cases for this technology. There are now 2.18 million unique addresses on the Avalanche C chain with daily increase of 17,000 users. Take a look at this graph. Absolute explosion of Avalanche. Bitcoin stems losses after US bans Russian oil. Gold holds to record highs, $2,000 per gold. And we can see the oil, $130 right now, is surging. Taking a look at the Bitcoin price, we did have a surge yesterday above the 50 days moving average on Bitcoin, but it was short-lived. It got rejected at 42,500. And until we have a clear break of this triangle over here that we are trading on, we can see some consolidation and accumulation movement along this triangle over here until a clear breakout of this area. And looking at the 5 days view, we have briefly entered the golden zone right here. This is the golden zone below this lower band, which is the perfect opportunity to buy some Bitcoin. And we got upwards, but we are rejecting right now. This candle closes in 1 day. So in case we drop further, this is the golden zone. Remember it. This is if you're in doubt, then just zoom out and see that in this golden zone, this has been the perfect opportunity to buy Bitcoin wherever we are in the golden zone. Even if it goes down even lower, this is like a perfect opportunity to buy more Bitcoin. So do not hesitate when it goes to the golden zone to buy Bitcoin immediately. On the positive side, we're seeing Bitcoin still on track to reach $100,000 by 2023, late in 2022, kind of a year to accumulate, says Bitbull Capital CEO. So I'm very positive and very bullish for 2023 as well. And as you know, the up and coming reduction in the supply of Bitcoin is happening in 2024. So do not miss the next one in 2024 and accumulate Bitcoin as its cheap prices right now, as you will not probably have an opportunity like this later in the future. Bitcoin stuck under 40K right now. We're seeing this BART pattern that is shown once again. This is the BART. This is the BART. It's so funny. But all of this is really short term. You know, you need to look at this as a short term price volatility. And overall, Bitcoin hits all-time high versus the ruble, of course, because ruble is losing value, you can see, but Bitcoin is accumulating right now. So anyways, that's what I want to share with you. Also, do not forget, we have the Drip Network protocol right now sitting at a very, very attractive level of $56.56. And I think we are hitting the bottom right here. And from here, we are going to skyrocket. That's my opinion. We have a new user interface coming for the Drip protocol, where you can come and stake for at least a year and enjoy the benefits of compounding at a rate of up to 1% a day, excluding taxes. So that's been really good, and you can learn more about it by going to deflationarydailyROI.com. Watch the webinar and see exactly how this protocol works to help you generate more profit. So that's what I want to share with you today, guys. I hope you have a fantastic Thursday. I hope that this war with Ukraine is going to end as soon as possible. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Today in Crypto Show.